game just about to launch. Here we go. Game 3 is going to be Regicide Fortress. Regicide Fortress indeed. Nice prediction right here for Nilpfert once more. Mayans, both players, no huge surprise. Everything like it is supposed to be. So let's start with the maps. And Nilpfert, do tell us about them.
Yeah, it seems a bit like Lojza has a very good map. He is protected on his left-hand side, so he only has to focus like north now, and on his right-hand side. So that's very good because there's a lot of potential raiding going on quite early. But he has all the good spots back as well. He has wood back, he has gold back. So I think Lojza has a very good defensive map.
Yeah, he needed to delete a house right there, if I'm not mistaken, so something not ideal. But then again, no huge problem. The population cap is still enough at the beginning of the game. Stridalure, one of the boards with the Eagle Warrior. Nothing surprising right there. So let's take a look. How does BacT's map look like? Nilpfert, the main gold, a little bit at the front right here, right? Could be a little bit better. I guess if he places down a TC somewhere around these lines, it will be all right. But what about the rest?
Yeah, I think so. He could easily protect this gold spot and this wood spot, but it's still offensive. So there is a possibility of a push from BacT. Oh no, it's Lojza, right? So possibility push from Lojza here. And that's a possibility BacT doesn't have.
Indeed. Lojza with a really nice map here that could be very favorable to him. And considering that Regicide Fortress is sort of similar to Arena, right? I'm not going to say it's the same type of game, but it's sort of...
if you have to compare two maps, you're starting with stone walls, so...
It has to be Arena. So
yeah.
What do you think about this pick? And especially considering that BacT actually lost the Arena map and he knows Lojza is so good at this type of map. Maybe a risky pick right here.
Not at all. Those games are playing so differently.
Definitely a played.
Because you will always play Regicide, not normal Arena. And so I think this game plays out differently because you already start with the castle. So your unique unit is becoming way more important. And obviously plume dodgers are probably the most cost efficient unique unit in Castle
Very
Age.
cheap, very strong, incredibly good units indeed. Lojza needs to be careful if that king does not want to get any hit. I do wonder why the players do this and go so close to the walls of the enemy player. Just imagine if that would have been a castle, he would be having quite a hard time here and even a hard attack maybe. Anyway, looks like nothing wrong is going to happen to that king. All good for him.
Yeah, the king is so fast. Although he's so fat, so that's something I don't get in AOC, but still...
Fat and fast.
Yeah, exactly. So not having ballistics means the most shots even of the castle will not hit. So he has to take like 3 full volleys to get down.
Indeed, and this is now BacT trying to find where his opponent is. He just does not know that just now. I guess he won't be really expecting it to be here. Maybe he thinks he's, well, now he can see the walls right there from Lojza. He needs to keep the distance from the walls, in my opinion. Once more, just avoiding the shots with no problem whatsoever. Nice job here by him. Does know exactly what his opponent is. Let's take a look at the populations. Both players going up to Feudal Age on 21 villagers. So both players sort of making the same build order, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. BacT is already getting stone. That's quite early, but those are the 3 villagers who will build exactly the stable, the market, and the blacksmith.
Well, they will be dropping off that stone a little bit later. And do keep in mind that players start with 150 stone, so they do need to collect 50 stone in order to be able to drop 2 TCs when they get the Castle Age. I don't understand where his BacT building his buildings. Lojza, I mean, he's got a blacksmith, but what about the market?
I think it's more to the right-hand side to protect some of his...
Okay, yeah. Indeed. So he's just going to make sure that that stone can be very well protected with his market. I guess a little bit of walling will still needs to take place right here on the right side. He will be doing that for sure at some point. Right now, making sure the right side is closed for the time being, and both players will be clicking up that Castle Age at roughly the same time. Lojza seems to be missing a little bit of food. BacT clicked himself. Lojza did something wrong here with this build order. Still missing a little bit of food. Will be a couple of seconds delayed. Nothing too major.
I think he took some villagers from food to build the market, and that what happened?
Might have been the case.
And he's not dropping the barrier.
Yeah, it's taking a little bit longer than it should, to be honest, considering that both players got this same amount of villagers.
Yeah, so he's
30
behind
seconds
basically one
later,
villager.
maybe a little bit more than it should have been. One villager behind indeed. Let's see if he will be able to recover from that.
That's
at
very
some point.
unforced as well. That's, yeah, totally unnecessary. And he should just know what the build order in Regicide Fortress is, because that's absolutely viable option for a lot of players in this tournament.
Indeed, and so far we have seen great Regicide games. We've seen one yesterday between Riyadh and Yo that will go in history, in my opinion. A game that will be one of the classic Regicide Fortress games of all times, in my opinion. If you guys did not see that, make sure to watch those games as fast as possible.
Yeah, obviously. Regicide Fortress are in for very good games since actually all the time. Remember the time when Arbalest, Elclan Arbalest was hosting this tournaments in like early 2000, and his home map of his favorite map was Regicide Fortress. So we have been playing this map in tournaments since like 2002.
For a very long time indeed.
So we will see BacT now getting his TC up there, and I think Lojza, since he has such a good map, will most likely get the aggression, because he will not get raided anywhere in the south. He will get his TCs up there, and I think Lojza will be the one who maybe even starts to push with a mangonel.
That could be a nice option indeed. Looks like he now closed completely. I would be surprised to see a hole here. Looks like there's no hole. And considering that all of his resources are right here at the back, perfectly walled, there's no chance for BacT to get in. Indeed, it could be a very nice idea for Lojza to actually go aggressive on this.
And waiting for players, I think we have to figure something out later, and we'll just delay Lofting against the Viper for like 2 minutes and let Janet look over all the settings, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's the players pausing. I hope it's no drop from me. Can you take a look if they're paused?
They're moving the mice and yeah.
Okay, so let me go back. Let me see if my game is still running.
I'm paused as well, so...
Yeah, it looks like everything is still good in the game room. No problem, the game is running. I will just slow down a little bit more the game speed to make sure it runs smoothly. And indeed, this is Castle Age being reached by BacT. Lojza a little bit later with that account. I guess this TC is no big surprise for us, Nilford. A TC on that gold is definitely necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, those raiding, and I even would love those villagers getting pulled back, because that's the only spot where Lojza will go instantly and get some sweet hits. And remember, you don't have Loom at the start.
Indeed, no Lumen players do try to delay it for as long as possible. That's indeed what BacT was doing here. That's indeed what Lojza is doing at the same time as well. Let's try to understand if Lojza will play a more economy-based game, considering his base is so safe at this point. He goes for one TC right here. He could even maybe just be a little bit ambitious here and drop the third TC straight away and delay those plumed archers.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's so safe
Lojza
at
has
home.
the option to...
He's so safe at home. Indeed, that is what he's going to do. He's going to be delaying his plumed archers a little bit. We'll go for 3 TCs straight away, dropping 2 of them. And BacT seems to be on only 1 extra TC at this point. Indeed, he's concentrating on those plumed archers. He will be dropping a second one. There he is. And the villager count will start jumping in favor of Lojza anytime soon. That would be very surprising not to see that happening. Let's take a look at the upgrades. No fletching for BacT.
The funny thing, look at BacT's base. We saw a lot of kings getting sniped within towers and castles, but he's putting them in the open field.
Just leaving him like there in the open field indeed. Maybe hiding him somewhere around here would even be better than just leaving him here. But anyway, let's see if that is going to go well for him. Lojza is going to go out a little bit with those plumed archers, trying to scout a little bit. Maybe it's not really trying to raid, I think, because he's going to be expecting a TC right here, I assume. Maybe just going to scout a little bit, try to understand what is BacT doing. BacT has got 3 plumed archers himself. No fletching, no upgrades so far, so he's below in elite plumed archers. In plumed archers, no elite, of course, sorry about that, but maybe he will be able to get a couple of kills right here, because he's now outnumbering Lojza.
Yeah, Lojza needs to run, and I think he didn't look for quite some time, losing hit points and a full plumed archer. So I think he should just retreat. But still, BacT can't do much. So I think Lojza should go even in the 4th CC quite soon.
Indeed, indeed. Well, quite an unnecessary hit. Looks like he could even lose another one. Nope, manages to save it. Nice job. BacT only now going for the fletching upgrade. I do want to take a look at the TCs. Yeah, now he is dropping the 3rd one. Let me try to understand where it is. Right here on the north side of his base. I guess it's a nice placement right here, trying to make sure that he will have enough wood to collect for.
Yeah, he will get so much wood. They're nearly surrounded by all the wood. And look at the population and concerning villagers and military. BacT is ahead by both.
He shouldn't be ahead, man. He shouldn't be ahead. Lojza had his 3 TCs up before BacT did. BacT getting house now, so maybe that could be the opportunity for Lojza to actually get ahead once more in the villager count, or at least equalize it. Not doing fletching so far is Lojza, so that does tell us he is going for a more economy-based game, at least at the very beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Lojza will even stay on the economy for quite some time because he's so super safe.
He's idling his TCs a little bit. He does have a market, so he should be buying food. That's exactly what he just did. He is idling his TCs a little bit too much, and probably that's the reason why he actually allowed BacT to sort of equalize that villager count. 40-40 at this point. 14 military units for BacT, only 10 for Lojza.
Yeah, and I don't see that the guys...
Getting housed, even worse for him, right? Even worse. He's trying to play the economy game, the economical game, and is not really getting ahead in economy.
Not really, because now it's still 3 against 3 TCs. I think Lojza should add the 4th TC soon, but on the other hand, it's Mayans War. You don't need too many villagers. It's
and you want to save the stone for the castles, right?
Yeah, this 100 stone isn't too important, but obviously having a lot of castles is nice. But I think it's better to go up earlier and have like 10 vills less. So I think even getting into this 4th TC isn't giving him too much of an advantage since it's Mayans War.
Well, let's take a look if he will find a nice spot to hit right here. He wasn't able to find those villagers on the wood. He tries to go back to snipe a villager. Will be met by the plumed archers from BacT. Those have got +1, so Lojza does not want to engage this. Even if the numbers are not too far behind, he does not want to engage a +1 army when he does not have a single upgrade on those plumed archers.
Yeah, absolutely. Not having a single upgrade and still going out in the field.
A little bit risky, right? A little bit risky. You have to feel like that was indeed going back with the army. Now, he just lost 1 plumed archer. Not too bad for him. Will be safe once he gets inside those walls. And that is BacT once more, not having a chance to do any kind of decent raiding. But taking a look at the villager numbers, looks like finally Lojza managed to get a nice advantage.
Yeah, finally. And I think BacT will feel safe very much because he didn't see Lojza having fletching. So actually Lojza feels safe because he has a good map, but BacT feels safe because he sees Lojza's not building army.
Lojza's not making army, he's not really attacking me very much. So he's dropping now a siege workshop. I guess this is only a defensive measure, right? He's
Absolutely.
not really trying to push with it.
Yeah, nice read there. I think so as well because he knows he can't push. But he saw, okay, Lojza's not having fletching, so he might be preparing something else, like a mangonel push, so I better get out my mangonels.
Yeah, indeed, and let's take a look at Lojza. Only now he's doing the fletching upgrade, so maybe now he will be looking into going a little bit more aggressive with those plumed archers. He still is not quite matching the numbers at BacT. BacT's got so many more, of course. Only 5 more to be fair. Let's see if he is actually able to do any kind of decent damage. He will be able to see the siege workshop at this point. Not sure if he will then go back once he gets to see it.
Yeah, I think he will go back and will drop his own siege workshop. Because he needs to defend. At the moment, his stone is quite vulnerable. Lojza, that it is.
Let's take a look at where is Lojza's stone. Indeed, looks like here could be a nice place for BacT to start attacking. The game pausing once more. Let's take a look. Everything is good. Everything is good on our end. So probably just the players stopping it a little bit. Indeed, the game is just running back once more. Lojza goes back with those plumed archers. Let's see. Well, he will try to go with them. Maybe placing them somewhere around
clamped here. Now, and you know what clamped.
Ooh, I'm not sure I like this. I'm not sure I like this. He will be trapped. BacT coming in. He does not have +2. He's only on +1, but there's a mangonel coming from behind, and Lojza feels kind of trapped right here. He will try to run away as good as he can. Still try to engage this. I'm not sure that's the best option for you, Lojza. Just get the hell out of there. It looks like indeed now he realizes with a mangonel there, there's nothing he can do. Take the long turn and get the hell out of there.
Yeah, Lojza, luckily for him, BacT doesn't have ballistics. If he had ballistics, he would have lost like...
GG Army. That would be GG Army. So I really think he should just make sure BacT cannot get too many kills. Just run as far back as possible. Make sure you keep playing your economical game and taking a look at the villager account. Still very much in favor of Lojza.
Yeah, absolutely. That was what he was actually aiming for. So that worked out for him, but still he has to catch up in the buildup account. But it's kind of tough because both players are having only one castle for now. So the difference will never change if both players continually produce.
Okay, let's see if BacT will now be able to intercept the plumed archers. He gets one, will get probably one more, and that mangonel shot needs to be on point. Was not bad, but Lojza saw it as well, so he was able to move at the very last second, being able to save a couple of those plumed archers. There's a mangonel right now from Lojza. He wants to fight this. I'm not sure he should be doing that. There's more mangonels from BacT coming. That tower is not really going to do much on those plumed archers. They've got such a nice pierce armor as well. No defense upgrades whatsoever, but nice shot with a mangonel right there by BacT.
Yeah, and now it's 2 mangonels against 0, and a lot of plumed archer advantage for BacT as well. So I think Lojza will have quite a tough time.
Ooh, this could be a nice shot. Gets only one, so not too bad for him. You can see on my overlay right here on the top left side, Lojza selling a couple of resources. He is probably aiming into going to Imperial Age. And let's take a look at BacT. BacT does not seem to be very far behind when it comes to resources. He will be a little bit later, I do feel like, but not really too far behind. 10 villager difference at this point. Military still good in favor of BacT, and BacT will try to go here for the stone, and that is probably the only spot that he's got to hit, Lojza.
Yeah, that's
What is the second mining camp?
Yeah, he wants to be more efficient, but I think it's not really...
It's not relevant. I don't know, maybe I was expecting to see it here or something.
By the way, look at the amount of farms by Lojza. He had 38 farms at the moment, and even adding more against the 26 of BacT. So we have a huge increase of like food pretty soon on his account, and I don't see where he's going with that.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too much for. He could be selling this right now and going up to Imperial Age. He's delaying it a little bit. He just did it now, clanking up to Imperial Age. What about BacT? BacT only needs 30 seconds maybe, and you will be clanking up to Imperial Age. But do you feel like these are too many farms when you know you're going to go for plumed archers and rams?
Absolutely. You need wood, you need gold, you need stone. And what will he have in 5 minutes? Basically mostly food.
Indeed, looks like BacT is indeed attacking, and the only spot he was able to attack due to Lojza having such a nice map. I do wonder where is Lojza army. Right here on the left, chilling a little bit. He does need to go aggressive with those. Lojza doing wheelbarrow quite late, in my opinion. Only doing it now all the way to Imperial Age. I do feel like that's a little bit too late.
Yeah, that's way too late. I think the optimum, like, Spirit of the Loom did the counting right. It's like at 38 population or something, and Handcart at 50 or something.
Nice mangonel shot right there by Lojza. Nice mangonel shot. Gets BacT's mangonel, does not lose his own, so this fight could be very important for him. He's not moving. He just got 3 of those plumed archers killed by BacT's mangonel, so I guess that sort of had.
And maybe in exchange,
one for on.
Yeah.
No huge difference at this point.
Yeah, and Lojza is having trouble getting stone. Now his main stone spot is getting raided. No one working. And his other stone spot is over here.
He's not taking the other one, so he might be delaying his second castle right here. He's only got one. What about BacT? BacT has got one, the initial one, and the second one is on the way. So he will have a second castle a lot sooner than Lojza will.
Yeah, and those traps are pretty strong at the early stage, because if you're protected behind his castles and your enemy only has blooms and traps on his own, those traps are killing everything.
Well, let's take a look at what is BacT doing here. I can see a siege workshop as well with a mangonel, with a ram in it. a second ram on the way, so those will be capped rams. There's no doubt about that. Players still sort of avoiding each other when it comes to the plumed archer fight. Maybe BacT now wants to engage. He does have a very nice number advantage right here. It's 37 against 21. Maybe now is the time for BacT to actually go forward. I'm not sure he's finishing the ballistics. He's got the ballistics. Lojza's got them too, but Lojza does not want to fight this. Lojza, you do not have the numbers. I think Lojza should be going back here, Nilford.
Yeah, one tower is helping out, but that's not enough.
One tower is not enough. It's not enough. BacT is trying to use the runners, but those are not going to be very effective because Lojza does have ballistics as well. But I do feel like BacT should just be fighting this. He does not need to be scared of one tower, and this castle looks like it will be going up
that's maybe
just at the right time.
Maybe that was the reason why Lojza wanted to fight, because he knew if I go back now, I might not even finish my castle.
Maybe that was the reason he wants to make sure that castle is going to be up at the perfect timing, and indeed just goes up at the but then again, those stone villagers are going to be so clutched together. I'm not sure. Maybe he should have tried to go a little bit further back. I mean,
yeah, but he wanted it to be safe.
Yeah, he wanted to be safe with those villagers.
Taking food and wood villagers to build this castle. Because
instead of the stone, very, very true, very true. BacT goes back with those. Let's take a look. Is he preparing any kind of attack right here? Not just yet. I would expect to see a couple of trebuchets at some point, maybe. Indeed, one trebuchet coming out from BacT from the furthest away castle. Maybe not ideal. He could have tried to take it from here. He's not doing that. He's got a couple of rams, upgrading them to capped ram. What about Lojza? Let's take a look at
Lojza already
Lojza.
has capped rams, so we'll see a huge mass of rams hugging each other. And luckily now the patrol gives them the option of attacking the opposing rams. So that's more interesting rams fight when we've seen before the 1.4.
Okay, but how do you feel about this? Lojza goes straight to rams. BacT does first a couple of trebuchets. What do you feel about this? Should be players going for rams first?
I think he did one trap, and I think that's good, because just one trap, build him here. Oh, he even went for two. Okay, that's nice. Just put them down here, snipe the siege workshops, because that's important. It's more important than actually sniping a castle at this moment, because if you get outnumbered on the rams, you will lose everything upcoming fight.
And Lojza does need a sort of a miraculous fight right here. He's so low when it comes to plumed archers compared to BacT. Let's take a look at the upgrades. It's a 5 plus a 4, so almost fully upgraded for BacT. Lojza still missing chemistry. BacT doing the thumb ring as well, so nice job here by BacT getting ahead with the upgrades. He will be looking into getting those siege ramps as fast as possible as well. Looks to me, did Lojza? Yeah, I think Lojza just lost the siege workshop that was actually doing the siege ram upgrade. He might be actually... indeed, that could be happening a second time. A fear for him if BacT actually focused this siege workshop. He cannot know it, of course, so maybe will be actually able to complete the siege.
Yeah, and if you snipe all those siege workshops, there is basically low on wood anyways. So, losing all your siege workshops, you have to replace them. That's less rams again, and maybe he's able to revive this upgrade.
Oh my god, he could be losing that siege workshop once more. It's 60%. Luckily for him, looks like BacT wants to go back with those rams. He does not want to lose them. So I guess the siege rams will be there. And BacT still not doing the siege ram upgrade just yet. Lojza still waiting until that plumed archer upgrade is finished, but the numbers are just so much in favor of BacT.
Look at the timing of those upgrades. 30-48 for siege ram, 30-49 for plumed archers. And when is he forcing the fight? Exactly now. Siege rams and elite plumed archers.
This has to be a very good fight for Lojza, or he could be in trouble. He's got siege rams, and BacT is not even researching them, so he should be winning the ram fight easily. Looks like indeed he's doing that, and once he clears those rams, it's time to go for the plumed archers. Leave the rams right there, go forward with those plumed archers, try to get a couple of snipes. And BacT is smarter, of course. He will not leave his plumed archers right there, but a nice victory right here for Lojza, getting himself a little bit of time.
And now he's the one who's getting back the gold spot and killing the siege workshops. So if Lojza now continues to kill siege workshops and builds enough rams, I think he could just take control of this area quite easily. But look at the minimap at the same time. BacT is taking map control.
Yeah, BacT spreading himself around all the way around the map, taking control of that goal there as well. Nice job here by BacT. He still's got a whole lot of advantage when it comes to bloomed archer numbers. So Lojza at this point only counting on those siege ramps to be effective. They are very strong indeed. One of the biggest problems for a main player to be facing are siege rams, of course. But he's not really getting a lot of kills on those plumed archers, as far as I can see.
Absolutely not. And if the siege ramps go down, the plumed archers of Lojza
will
are
be
absolutely
vulnerable. Indeed, will be very vulnerable. Not enough siege ramps for Lojza. He needs to go back. And let's take a look at the castle, because it feels like he does just not have enough numbers. Yeah, he's got 3 castles, not producing from 2 of them. He does have the resources, so it looks like Lojza needs to be a little bit more on point here, making sure the military buildings keep producing all the time and not stop for a single second.
Yeah, so you need to be at 0 wood and 0 gold at all the times here. Oh, nice attempt of raiding.
Nice attempt of raiding indeed. He was able to get a couple of kills right here on the villagers of BacT on that stone, but nothing major is going to happen from now on. BacT is there with a couple of plumed archers. He's going to clear that quite easily. But at this point, Nilford, advantage for BacT, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I just looked it up. Lojza still has 30 farms at this time, and he only built rams, traps, and plumed archers, so you basically don't need a single farm at this point. Just get them on gold, get them on wood, and just outproduce your enemy. And you don't have to kill the farms, obviously. You have to switch into
just switch the villagers. Just switch the villagers, indeed. And the only good thing I see here going on for Lojza is BacT still does not have siege rams. Siege rams is on the way, but as far as I can see, only 1 ram. So maybe if he just manages to get this castle down, he could put himself in a nice spot here.
Yeah, Lojza would stood at like 2 traps now as well. 2 traps and still keep the high number of rams, and I think BacT will have tough times getting any good fights there.
Once more, a little bit of a pause here. The game room does not show me anything, so I think nothing bad is happening. Hopefully only a little bit of a pause between the players. But,
players are still in game, so
yeah, this will be hopefully restarting anytime soon.